Hi, everybody. I'm Terry, and I'm holding your space, and this is Grandmother BC here.
Hi, everybody.
Aw. So, we are here today because there's been so much interest in Saint Germain, and we're lucky enough to have Grandmother here and to lead us in this because she's been channeling Saint Germain and Lady Nada, right? Yeah, I'm
Right.
never sure if I pronounced that properly or not. So, oh, hi Annie Bear, hi Linda, hi Viviani. I'm so glad you all are here. And if you have any questions, please put them in. Um, and today, you're going to channel today.
Well, Saint Germain and Lady Nada have offered to be present for questions, and
Oh,
and I've been given a bit of a talk about manifestation and what is manifestation. So
I love that. I love that. I think if we wait just a few more minutes, a few more are coming in.
yes,
Oh, Viviani, thanks. Yeah, please post all the questions in caps. Thank you. Hi, Julie. How are you, Julie Johnson? And yeah, so gosh, and and you're still in Arkansas. You used to be in Lake or not Lake Ida, Mount Ida.
well, Mount Ida is in Arkansas too, and it's called the Crystal Capital of the World. My husband and I moved there from Washington D.C. in uh, 1992 and lived there for 25 years before I moved here to Hot Springs, which is not that far away from Mount Ida.
Hot Springs is beautiful.
Oh, it is. I'm just
Yeah,
happy to be here.
yeah. And it Arkansas, I had no idea what a spiritual community it is, but it really is, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah.
The crystals have attracted people from all over the world,
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
spiritual people.
Yeah. And I think Alice Walton is building Deepak a library
I
there
did not
too.
know that. That's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's going to be, I mean, all sorts of different kinds of people are there, aren't there?
Oh, yes.
And of course, Dolores Cannon.
She passed away.
Yeah.
She was based at Ozark.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Oh, Annie Bear says young crystals there. Oh, Annie Bear, that's a great question. I'll star that. And yeah, if anybody else has a question about anything personal or spiritual, that's fine, I think. Okay, getting some good questions in here. Thank you. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Um, and we were also talking about how Saint Germain, like I didn't, I guess he wasn't on my radar for forever, but it seems like all of a sudden there's so much prominence around Saint Germain now. Is that because we're ready for him, or just that I'm late to the party?
No, I think so. I think he shows up when you're ready.
Yeah,
And he is um, the major teacher about manifestation on the planet, how each one of us manifests our own reality, how we're doing it all the time. And um, if you like, I'd like to talk a little bit about how we manifest.
yes, please.
All right. So we are unique divine beings. We are more powerful than we have any idea. In fact, if you even had a glimpse of how powerful you are, it might scare you, or you wouldn't believe it, or think yourself not worthy. So that's the first thing. He says that the most important thing is self love. And that means forgiveness of everything, of all, of seeing ourselves, each one of us, ourselves, as the way the teachers and angels see us, pure and innocent and sinless. And so that's really, really important to learn to. My screen keeps going off. So, however you do that, if you look in the mirror in the morning and say, "Good morning, gorgeous," or whatever it is, just really, it's really important to pay attention to ideas and thoughts, conscious and maybe unconscious, that keep you from recognizing how incredible you are. The inner, the inner judge, so to speak, the critic, and really pay attention. And when you catch yourself being mean to yourself, just kind of remind yourself that you love yourself and forgive yourself like you would anybody else. Another really important piece is the ability to be at peace in any situation, no matter what is going on. Um, these aspects that I'm talking about of what we do and who we are in manifestation, um, trust is the major one. But if we can get to where we are totally at peace, it's like peace is like tanzanite frequency. It is like just take a deep breath and let go of everything else and come to peace. There you go, peace. Let it all fall, just peace. Good job. And then another aspect is trust. And that means beginning to trust yourself more fully, beginning to trust the masculine aspect of yourself, which is your mind, your thoughts, your intellect, and trust your inner knowing, your intuition. So coming to peace and coming into your power as a manifester of the highest and best is about learning to know and trust yourself, trusting your heart so that you can trust the heart of each and every one you come in contact with, their heart, their real inner being heart, and trust your intellect, the part of you that follows through on your intuition. Again, coming to peace. And truth is not subject to anybody's judgment. Truth, capital truth, is life and light and love and wisdom. Truth. Those three aspects, peace and trust and truth, um, um, they vibrate at the frequency of the tanzanite. And peace actually is an aspect of our high self when we can remember that it is our base. It is an aspect of our high self that brings us actually to bliss and to trust. So trusting is the next one, even beyond trust of your own mind and heart. Trust that, I don't care what name you give to God or God, Goddess, all that is, but trust that that force, that presence, that power is beneficent and loving, and there's no forgiveness there because Source does not see us as lacking or wrong or sinful. That's us. We do that. That's our human self doing that. So those are the ones to pay attention to. Self-love, beyond a shadow of a doubt, unconditional love, whatever it takes to get you there. And if you don't know how to get there, you can just ask. Saint Germain says, If you ask a question, the answer exists simultaneously, and you can trust in that. That is true. That is spiritual law. And I've said this before, but he wants me to talk about it again. This is a dual polarity reality. Everything is in our reality is black and white, salty and sweet, negative and positive, masculine and feminine. What we're learning to get to is the place where it's all one and we are neutral. It's like we see what's going on in the world, and instead of automatically seeing it as something horrible, we have compassion and see it as part of the healing process on the planet. Um, so he says to remind you that you create it all. You create everything. He says to remind you that there is nothing outside of you. Nothing. Everything you see is your interpretation of it. How you interpret to it and how you respond to it is all important. And he says that you will remember this and you can ask him for more information about it. I think one reason why he is so popular is that he's a very personal teacher. He, if you ask, he's right there with you. He stayed with me for years when I was going through. I was a single mom raising 4 kids with no child support and working, and I couldn't have done it without help from him. And his twin flame, Lady Nada, she actually appeared to me in dreams and told me her name before he ever showed up in my life for me. And I think that it's just now, as all of us are dealing more with the bias that is called misogyny, I think that we're just now getting to where we can see and understand that the awakening of the feminine within the planetary consciousness is what is being called upon to heal the masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
go ahead.
No,
No.
go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so as we come together as masculine and feminine energies, supporting ourselves in both, and then we have that non-duality, right? That's
Yeah.
where we're all headed. Yeah.
He wants me to talk a little bit more about Lady Nada first before we go further. She is actually his twin flame, just as Mary Magdalene is Jesus's twin flame. And she had as much to do with the experience of the crucifixion and the resurrection as anybody else in his life. She still is his true partner. She is amazing too. So Lady Nada, Saint Germain works with manifesting under physical reality via spiritual law. Lady Nada carries the feeling of that. It's like when he teaches about manifesting and he talks about creating a healed reality, he talks about seeing what it is that needs to be healed, maybe even feeling it, but then shifting to where we can feel it as healed. And the direction from the masculine is access healed reality, or you can use wholeness. But access, those are the words, that's the masculine. And the feminine part is experience what it's going to feel like when it's already healed. Feel that and feel the gratitude. You can feel it to the point that you know it is manifesting. And that, the feminine, the feeling part of it is what really brings the manifestation forth following the words. So that's present within each of us, whether we're masculine or feminine. So Lady Nada, she works, her violet frequency is more like magenta. It is very, very gentle, although she's powerful too. But they actually truly work as one. If you're hearing from him, you're hearing from her as well. There's
Wow.
absolute complete trust and oneness. And apparently that's what we're supposed to be doing, is growing to that place inside of us. And if any of us have a desire in our heart for a masculine counterpart, even if it's just somebody to talk to and brainstorm with, if that really is the desire in your heart, that'll manifest. And it takes, if you want someone, he says, if you want someone to be in your life whose heart you trust absolutely and completely, first you have to trust your own. You come completely, completely connected, divine mind and divine heart, so that you absolutely know and trust your own heart, your own mind. If we can get that far along in our journey, it's amazing what else can unfold and happen. He says that we create in the holy instant, that we create in the now, the right now, holy instant, and the moment we allow ourselves to have fear or judgment, he says, radical acceptance of what is without judgment. And he says, radical trust in ourselves, our divine self, and our union with the divine self of every other being on the planet. Because it doesn't matter, even ones that we look at as causing a whole lot of pain and suffering on the planet right now, those ones, part of what we're here to do is to connect with that divine part that they are and have compassion. I remember a long time ago, I think my very last lifetime was, I was a child during the Holocaust. And I remember that when I started my awakening process, and I was told about forgiveness, and I actually had to forgive Hitler.
Wow.
Yeah. And each one of us, that's just an example. Each one of us, whether we were a part of that particular Holocaust or, we are all connected. On some level, we all experience. And it helps, I think. What happened was, in meditation, first he appeared to me and just looked in my eyes, and you can't mistake those eyes. And I would tell him to get out. I don't know how many times I told him to get out, until finally he came crawling to me, a little baby, and pulled himself up on his knees and looked in my eyes. And I forgave that innocent part of him.
Wow.
And the thing is that this is about forgiveness, which is a big, big part of learning to trust, not just ourselves, but others. And, when we're able to see within everybody that divine spark, this planet is awakened so fast we won't even be able to believe it. It's already starting to happen, and it's all of us, each in our own way, who are coming present, wanting peace, not just the peace that happens when nobody's killing each other, but the peace that this planet was designed to embody.
Hmm. It's so beautiful. Hi, Bora Bora. Um, so um, this is like love in action, right?
Yes.
In our
Love is
every
powerful.
second.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so beautiful and so hard because many of us have been through polarities, right? This is what this planet has been about these past several years,
Well, it's
maybe centuries.
it's a dual polarity reality.
Yeah.
It's designed for that. And, every one of us agreed to come here. Some of us took a lot on our plate so that we could be able to help others no matter what it is they're going through. The most powerful way to help anyone else, he says, is to see who they are, to see who
Mm.
they are no matter what, and to trust in them. Even if it's family members who seem like they've lost their way, to love and trust that being inside of them, seeing them as healthy and whole and happy and successful no matter what. Hanging on to that will help to heal them faster than trying to take care of them. I know that one for sure.
I'm learning that,
I hear you.
grandmother. I'm
I hear
learning
you.
Yeah, trying to learn it.
Mhm.
Um, and it does change the entire relationship, doesn't it? When you look at somebody as a divine entity, a divine light.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, can you imagine being present as who you really are, as the light and presence and power of love incarnate? And you walk through the grocery store and you meet people's eyes and you see who they are. It's like you're sparking the being that they are and remembering who they are without saying a word.
Yeah. Yeah. And it seems like and maybe it's just because we're on vacation or something, but sometimes when we travel to different cultures and it's not so fast paced, like and consumer oriented, right? And addiction oriented because we're consumer oriented,
Right.
I think, in the West. And if we go to the East or somewhere or South America, that people are less into the materialism. And a lot of times we can see their light a little bit easier.
I know this was some time ago, but the terrible destruction from earthquakes in Haiti,
Yes.
seeing that, and those people joined hands and sang. I mean, just accessing the light,
Mm,
that terrible destruction.
yeah. 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 Sometimes in poverty and trauma, we find our light, don't we?
Yeah, I really think that. I think that looking at parts of our society who have been oppressed and um, looking at how happy they can be. Looking at people who've been oppressed in our culture back down through the years and looking at how they created a whole society that was happy and creative and so they didn't belong as part of the recognized powerful beings. They
Yeah.
they just amazing. And sometimes I think, as we know, I'm talking about racial situations, um, but I think that some of the fear about equality is that people who've been oppressed will treat white people the way they were treated, honestly. And look at them. I mean, look at them.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
We're amazing. It's not a them and us, it's a we.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I think that there, and that's it, fear. It's hard to trust when there's fear and
Uh,
those barriers in your heart.
Saint Germain says there are two emotions, there's fear and there's love. If it's not love, it's fear.
Ooh, aha. I'm going to write that one down. Fear and love.
And he also says feelings are not the boss of us. When we notice we're feeling fear, we can change and we can access and feel love instead.
Yeah. So, and that gets a lot into neuroplasticity. Pardon my my language here, my lips. But because yeah, just changing the name of it and changing the way you think about it changes so many things, doesn't it? Not
Yes.
just spiritually, but also your physical brain
Yes.
can change the way that it reacts, and the endorphins and the fight or flight response, and
It
yeah,
takes practice. It does. But
yeah,
we're a choice, and that's our power. We can choose. If we don't like what we're creating, what we're seeing with our own perspective, we can change it.
yeah, definitely. Um, well, we've got a few questions here. Do you want to start taking them and then we can talk in between, or
Sure.
what do you? Okay, okay. Let's go to Annie Bear first. Oops, I have to do that properly. Okay, how may we be of service to Saint Germain? Annie Bear is asking.
He says, um, be more who you are. He says, every day when you sit in quiet, when you meditate, he says, be who you are. And he says, I can share with you words that work for me is a little explanation. I use the word Christ or Christ Buddha consciousness as the union that we all are, as I am that I am. So he says, spend time every morning if you can in just sitting and feeling at peace, come to peace, and tell yourself, abide as Christ, abide as the Buddha, whatever it is that describes your inner self, the pure divine self that you are. So I use abide as Christ and allow yourself to recognize your own divine presence. And he says, ask yourself what it is in your heart, not maybe it's a new car, but what in your heart do you want with your very essence, your very soul? What is it that you want? And ask for that and feel it manifest, and it will. He says it can't fail. So, your contribution, he says, is to remember who you are and create a reality for yourself, which is creating it for everyone else, that is happy and filled with joy. And he says, be happy. Sometimes humans tend to be uh, hard on themselves or down, or he says, you might feel him when he is present with you. He says he's your teacher. You might feel like a feather rubbing under your nose. He was Will Shakespeare in his last incarnation, and he's just letting you know he's there. You also see Violet. He said you can ask him anything. He's there to support you. Did that answer your question, Annie Bear?
She says thank you. That's beautiful. Um, okay. Linda asks, does Saint Germain have any advice or guidance for me in my current situation?
He says, in fact, you could do it right now. He says you could feel the situation, feel it, Really feel it. And you're observing, by the way, you're not getting sucked into it. There you go. Just feel it. And now just let go and feel it as healed and whole. Know that you are getting direction, exactly what you need to get when you need to get it. And he says to tell you to not stop believing and to know that nobody and nothing is stronger than the power and presence of God within you. Let's see what else. He says he loves you and he holds your hand more often than you know.
Mm-hmm.
He says that if you stop thinking you don't know what to do about it and think instead, I know exactly what to do. And he says, wake up in the morning expecting miracles.
I love that. What's my miracle today?
Or sometimes there are a lot.
Well, yeah, why limit it? Limited belief system, right? Why limit that? Oh,
Oh,
Viviani is asking, may I have a message from Saint Germain and Lady Nada, please? Thank you. Oh, Linda's saying there have been a few miracles already. Well,
yes, I agree. You guys are great.
that's
All
great,
right, Vivian.
Linda.
All right. I'm being asked for you to feel the presence of Saint Germain and Lady Nada with you. Saint Germain is at your left shoulder, has his hand on your shoulder. Lady Nada at your right. And just feel their love flowing through. I'm being told that within 3 weeks, something that you've been wanting is going to manifest for you. Let me see if I can see anything else. Um, they together are saying you have been through so much and everything will be easier. That's part of what is going on. And keep expecting the miracles. And they just want me to tell you how much they love you. And it looks like there is some healing going on back in your genetic lineage, both sides, masculine and feminine, father, mother, both. Looks like there is a whole line of beings in your genetic lineage who have attained mastery, even after they drop their bodies. So they are very much in support of you and sending you love. And the message is you are not alone. Know that. When you are in doubt, come present in the core of yourself as who you are and radiate that light that you are.
Wow, Viviani, that's so beautiful. Just amazing. Let's see. And then Annie Bear was asking a good question. She was asking, Who is Lady Nada? So a lot of people, and you were describing her as the twin flame,
Yes.
and the masculine and the feminine, and she was a
Oh,
teacher.
let me ask her. I've never asked her that. I felt her
Mhm.
presence for all of this time.
That would be
I
lovely.
never really asked her because we know about Saint Germain.
Yeah.
Um, all right. She says that she was a child of Mary and Joseph, the Christian ones we call Christian. They didn't have that name back then. They were just truth seekers and truth tellers. Um, I want to check and see if this is right, what I'm getting. I'll be just a minute. All right. I did not know this. No matter what I say, guys, run everything by your own inner monitor. Um, but she says that she was the being known as Joan of Arc in one
Ooh,
lifetime.
wow.
I did not know that. See if there's anything else she wants to say. She says that she was Catherine the Great in Russia. Let me see. Uh, I'm getting Catherine 3, but I didn't know if there even was a. But she was a powerful leader, always looking for truth and looking for ways to govern. That was she really was philanthropist. Okay, so she says she wants me to remind all of us that all of those beings that we look at as ascended masters made every one of the choices we're all making every day and every lifetime. Learned from making choices that didn't work out so well and made different choices until they arrived at the place where they were able to create from pure presence of divine self. See if there's anything else. She said that she was manifested by Durga as one of the Taras,
Mm.
and that terms that we have as religion, as part of religion, and religion itself, that's all illusion. The only thing that is truth. Everything else is illusion. Qualifications and judgments, and I think that's all.
Wow. That is just amazing. Um, that's so beautiful. Everybody's saying thank you, thank you. Kali Healer is saying thank you for sharing all your beautiful gifts.
Oh, thank you guys. I can feel each and every one of you.
They're wonderful, aren't they? They're a powerful group.
I know it. Everyone. There are no accidents. Everybody's together.
Viviani says, Terry in BC, I started calling on Saint Germain and Lady Nada recently.
I think that is really important because it's like that's where we get the support for our own inner harmony between divine masculine and divine feminine.
Yeah.
And I get that also with them, of course, but with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, with Shiva and Durga, uh,
Yeah. She
Krishna
was.
and Radha. They're they're all there.
Richie has a great question. Then we'll go back to our star questions, everybody. But since we're here, Richie asks, BC, when you connect with Lady Nada, does she present in a body form or just energy or color?
Well, when she connected with me the very first, she appeared in dreams. And so I would feel a woman and get the impression of a woman. And she would show me things and teach me things. And she was funny too. She would ask me questions and I would make a choice and say something. And sometimes she'd say flunk and just laugh. Um, but I see her in energy and color. And when I'm working, when the teachers and angels of the person I'm working with come through and connect. And sometimes I will just see color and energy. Other times I will see the way they present themselves to to the person I'm working with.
Hmm.
But you can feel her presence. I know that each and every one of you can feel her presence right now.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Um, okay. Deb is asking, BC, did you ever work with Hermé or Hermes regarding the violet flame?
I did not. Um, I worked with Saint Germain with the violet flame to the point that it just became like breathing to me. And I really needed the protection of the violet flame because I think I was a challenge as a student.
I love that. Um, Esther is asking, may I have a message from Saint Germain, please? And
All
thank you.
right.
I love Esther's name.
I did too. He says, little one, you've been working hard. It's time for you to know what you know instead of thinking you have to keep learning, learning, learning. Know what you know. He says, and Esther, he can't make me write either, but he says that you should just sit and write what you know as a stream. Come present as who you really are, this being of love and light, and feel the joy and just let the words flow. He says you have, whether you are taking advantage of it or not, a beautiful gift for writing and expressing feelings that are conveyed with words. Not everybody can do that. He says that he's been with you for many lifetimes, that he loves you, and Lady Nada says that she has known you in other lifetimes.
Wow. Esther, that is so beautiful. That just gives me lots of shivers here. Love that. Um, okay. Arwen the Gray. I love that her name too.
Oh, I do too. Is that Irish or Scottish? It's like Celtic.
It sounds it, yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Is it? Are you a guy or a girl, Arwen?
Arwen, are you here, dear? Hmm.
All right, I will ask.
Okay.
Well, I'm being asked to address the feminine. have
Oh,
even,
she's a girl. Yeah.
yeah,
Sorry.
okay. Um, they say you are powerful, you have memories from other lifetimes. Um, they're suggesting to you, supporting you in checking where you have areas where you have not forgiven yourself or others. That's not a big deal. It's not that much left anymore, but it's absolutely important for you to totally, completely forgive. And he says that you know that you are one with everyone, with everyone. So for you, it's almost like when you forgive someone else, it's like you're forgiving yourself. And the truth is, if you could just totally, completely forgive yourself, and that doesn't mean you've done something bad, everybody, don't do that for any of you, but we all tend to hold these grudges against ourselves. If I'd only done that, or blame ourselves because somebody else's life or situation turned out not in a good way. Sometimes we tend to hold ourselves accountable for somebody else's choices. And the suggestion to you is that you totally, completely look within and love yourself. Absolutely. If you could just see yourself, the shining, beautiful, incredible being you are, they want you to see that. They want you to see and know yourself as this incredible light. And you are loved and there with you. If you have questions, you can ask and you will write the answer.
Wow. That's amazing, Arwen. I just love that. That's so beautiful. Oh, Esther is saying, my aunt was very connected to Saint Germain and taught me to communicate with Saint Germain since the 90s.
Oh,
Thank you for the message.
if
Ah, and Arwen's saying, thank you.
precious.
Very kind. Oh, Lauren. A dear friend sent this message for me today. Fear forgetting everything's all right.
You bet it is.
I love that, Lauren. That's so wonderful. Yeah. So hypnicity. Um, if I'm not too late, I'd appreciate a message from Saint Germain.
He says that you worked with him discovering metaphysical, spiritual secrets of um, uh, eternal life. There's another word, eternal life. He says when he was Count Rakoczy, back all those lifetimes ago, that you were part of the group who were researching how to attain eternal life within physical form. And he says that he remembers you, knows you, loves you, and he says that the most important thing he has learned about eternal life is that life is eternal, and that when we so-called drop the body, it's just the body that's dropped, that who we are is eternal. It never changes. He says to tell you that he is blessing you, that he is glad that you have appeared, and he wants you to know that he's grateful for what you did as part of the group. He says it was difficult back then because people were so afraid they thought he was practicing vampirism and creating werewolves and all kinds of things. And that's not true. People's fear just made it that way. And he says that you were looked at askance, he says, because you were associated with him in that lifetime. And he says he just wants you to remember and to know that you are glorious. So much love coming to you, he says.
That's beautiful. So let's talk about that for a minute because, there are those that are believed to have lived hundreds and even thousands of years on our planet in a physical form. Is that because of galactic hybrid, or is that just a state of mind, or is that the same thing?
Interesting. Well, I know that I heard this. I've never really asked him if it was true, but I think that it is that he occupied the same body for 8,000 years, would just keep appearing. And yes, there is intergalactic genetic lineage. And he says that it depends on what you want and what you believe. If you really want and you're willing to do what it takes to bring the body form to wholeness, you really can stay in the physical form for a very long time.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah. I've heard people talk about that, and they talk about the monks that do that, but people all over the world, really, and particularly indigenous tribes.
Right.
Um, so, Deb, your quest, yeah. So, yeah, we were just talking about that, weren't we? And oh yeah, Kali Miller. If there's time, I'd be so grateful for a message.
There's time. He says you were a Norseman. He says he's showing me you standing with your hair blowing, and you're wearing these beautiful. It's like Native American clothes made from skins. They're white with beads, and you have this beautiful wolf with blue eyes. He's just beautiful. He's your power animal, and he says you may remember that time, and um, things are different for you this time, but you can remember, and you do remember, and are continuing to remember the wisdom that you carried during that time. You were a leader and a healer, and you are in this lifetime as well, he says. Um, it's just different, and you liked it a whole lot better in the other lifetime. He says, hang in there, it gets better, and that he is with you as well. And Lady Nada also. Lady Nada just squeezed your hand. I'm not hearing you, Terry.
Sorry about that, guys. I put it on mute because the dog was barking and then I forgot. I knew I'd do that. Deb, if there's something else that I forgot to ask, please let me know. Um, So, and Tom is asking a question from Tarot Your Way.
Yay.
Saint Germain, I feel that I have leveled up in light in the last year. Am I able to level up again in the future, or have I topped out?
Oh, yes. You put your toe in the water. You have amazing things ahead, he says. He says, just expect amazing things. You you will go further. You will have so much more joy in reaching people. You will have so much joy in watching people that you never thought it was possible awaken and come present as who they are. You have been a blessing to everyone you have touched, he says. And look at world and have fun, he says.
Oh, I love that. Um, oh, everybody's so excited for you, Collie Hiller. Collie Hiller, your last reading, she talks about how I'm part Native American and love everything about the culture.
Yes.
Yeah. And Thomas saying thank you so much, and Saint Germain as well. And Tom is just kind of he has a new channel and it's just kind of exploded, hasn't it, Tom? He has a nice level, very level, calm demeanor. I don't know what's underneath that, Tom. No, I'm kidding. But he's also quite funny.
Uh,
So, oh, Kelly Hiller says, "Thank you, Annie Bear. Big warm hugs back." Oh,
sweet.
yeah, everybody's so loving to each other. I love this.
I do
Very
too.
supportive group. Yeah. Then Annie Bear is asking, "I love and trust Archangel Metatron. Do you ever speak with him as Saint Germain, his brother?" Interesting.
I do speak with him, Andy Bear. He comes through often. He is one of the major beings in charge of the awakening of consciousness on the planet. He's just awesome. I mean, his work is so far reaching, and I have a suspicion it's because of him that people are more available to know truth now than they have been in the past. Yes, I love and trust him too. And I,
Yeah. It seems like everything is just exploding, isn't it? So there's so much light here that's coming forward.
yes,
At the same time, there's chaos on the planet,
that's all
but
right. That's
we're
what
kind of riding it.
we're here to access the order within the chaos. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And the peace within the upsetment.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Saint Germain is his brother. Let me ask him. I'll ask Saint Germain. He said, in a manner of speaking.
Oh, yeah. Tom says lots of boredom lies underneath or beneath the surface, that
Yeah.
calm demeanor. I totally doubt that, Tom. But yeah, every
whatever,
time.
whatever gets you seeking past the boredom, that's incredible. Boredom can kick us in the butt and make us look for something exciting.
Yeah. We're to shine our light on each other for the world.
Yeah.
Yes, amen. Definitely.
And each one of us is so important.
Oh, hi, Marianne. How are you, honey? Gina. Hi, Gina. So good to see y'all. Um, so I love what Lauren's saying about she's saying, I love Metatron also. Months ago, I asked him if I could help with the ley lines. So we do regular ley line energy work in our tribe. And then we work with the light grid too around the planet to kind of help with the energy. Um, do you do you have a feeling about that, or a connection to that at all, grandmother?
Yes,
Or
I do.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah. And that's part of what George and I do. We've been working with the magnetic flow on the planet. We take the ascended masters, or they take us, and we connect with awakened beings on the planet who want to be with us and are with us, um, even if we don't know who they are. And we circle the planet and we work, we emit love. Um, George works with mantras. I work with the content, the feeling of it, the feminine aspect of it. And then we go to the North Pole and separate, and I go to the South Pole with the feminine polarities, and we work with the flow. If you've ever seen the earth with the magnetic flow all around,
yeah,
and we bring harmony and peace and light, and then we meet in the middle and send from outside out to all the ley lines, out to all the, and then we go in our consciousness to different places on the planet where we're directed to bring love and forgiveness and support and awareness.
oh
So
my gosh.
that's kind of a different way of doing it, but very much. And I totally believe there are other groups doing the same thing, and we're all working together, even if we don't know each other.
Right? Because this just came to me in a vision and a meditation. It wasn't anything that I learned in a book. I think we're all remembering,
Yes,
aren't we?
yes, yes,
It's like click, 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 click all around the planet. And then click, 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 we all find each other too, our tribes.
yes.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful. I love it so much. I'm having such a great time. Um, Annie Bear asked, could you come again sometime and talk with Metatron, please?
Yes, I
Pretty
will
please.
ask him. And, I think that would probably be true. He shows up a lot when I'm working.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be nice.
Oh, Deb, that's a good question. Should we trust all gods or goddesses that come to us?
Well, I learned a long time ago. I don't really have to do it very much anymore because the ones who appear are, especially when I'm working, because I come present. Um, but used to be, beings would appear and they would be scary or whatever. And back then I still am a follower of Christ's teachings. I don't know that I really think of myself as a Christian because I don't believe a lot of the dogma.
Yeah.
But I learned to say, are you coming in the name of the Christ, to somebody who showed up? And if they were not coming, then they'll dissolve right in front of your eyes. It's spiritual law. If they're not coming in the name of the Christ, they can't stay.
That's beautiful. Lauren's asking, is the flow of energy around the planet moving faster in recent weeks? I see it and feel it moving rapidly the last few weeks, especially falling asleep and waking up.
Yeah, I think it is too. I really do. And I think that um, I don't really have proper language for it, but it seems like the veils are thinner. Like what is keeping us from connecting with the unseen is thinner. It's, and I think because of the flow of energy around the planet and within the planet, I think that it is important that we all stay centered in truth and light and love and not buy into fear.
Yeah,
I agree.
I do too. I just feel like even in sleep, I feel like everything's sped up. Like I'll wake up at my 1:30 and then my 3:30 and all these things coming in. So Gina would love um, a message if you have time. She asked, "Does Saint Germain
I
have a
certainly cannot
message?"
say no.
Aw,
Okay, he says he wants you to connect with him and feel his presence, just like you can feel Terry's, you can feel mine, you can feel everybody else in the group. He wants you to feel his presence. And he says, little one, I am here with you. He says, you have been a catalyst in the awakening of so many. He says, within your family system, you have been one who came to light up links in the family lineage where there was not total healing and wellness. He says that you are a healer in a very unique way, and that part of why you're here is to heal family system and all family systems like yours. He says you are blessed. Love, he says.
wow, that's powerful, Gina. I love that.
I don't know if that was right on. Sometimes the things I say are, so forgive me if that, I'm always questioning myself.
Yeah, you're on it. I think you're on it today, grandmother. And I feel like you know, each one of these messages could be messages for all of us
Yes,
too. That's the beauty in it.
yes.
And Marianne has been looking today. Now she's asking for a message.
I don't blame her.
She says she'd be very grateful. Oh, Gina says she's crying. Thank you so
Oh,
much. I
girl.
am blessed.
Oh,
Oh. Mm.
Marianne. He says, you've come a long way. He's very proud of you. He says, you are a teacher and you are here to teach what beyond what you even have remembered so far. He says, you're in the process of remembering not just specific concepts, but depth and breadth and spiritual power of your memories. He says that there are some memories that when they come, it helps for you to see them as healed and whole. He said, don't be afraid to do that, that he and Lady Nada are both with you. And he says he's very proud of you. And he says, greetings to your family.
Mm. And I'm going to ask this for Marianne. I hope you don't mind. Marianne's an artist. She's an incredible artist. Um, can you ask him about if it's him that's speaking through her with that, or that connection, that creativity connection?
All right. Wow, I'm seeing just like this beautiful streak of combined Lady Nada Saint Germain energy light. And yes, that flows through you. He says it's not their energy you're channeling, but your own energy of truth and light and manifestation. Seems like there was something else, he says it's all you. And he is definitely there, loving what you're doing and supporting you. And you are amazing, he says.
Yeah.
He
She's
says
so
that He says that he sees and feels how happy it makes you as you paint and create.
That's beautiful, Marianne. Yeah, I was just getting a hit on that. Um, Marianne, can we ask about Medusa? Do you and I'm just going to ask for me, not necessarily for you, Marianne, but I know she's painted some beautiful Medusas, and
Oh,
and I'm really drawn to Medusa. What is your feeling on her, grandmother? Is it
well, I think she is wisdom.
yeah,
That's what it is. It's wisdom. And I think that the fear comes from people fearing wisdom.
yeah,
It's like she's, yeah. And I think it's feminine wisdom.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
The Galactic Brotherhood has been with us since we started.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, my nose always runs and my
Yeah.
my eyes water too.
Yes, me too.
Yeah. Aw. Thank you, Marianne. I would love one of your portraits of Medusa.
Oh,
Yeah, I love Medusa. Um, Marianne's from Crete, and I was there once with my family. There were 18 of us.
oh, wow.
It was a big group, but we went to that little museum there. I can't remember what it's called. Not the Marins, but something like that. And they had this little tiny Medusa, and that the just that there was so much power in that little tiny sculpture. And I've seen it so many times. Jean Houston has it on the cover of one of her books.
Really.
Yeah, it's amazing. But well, thank you so much,
Well, you are welcome.
grandmother. This was such a joy and a blessing. Um, are there any special messages for all of us as a tribe of what we can do?
I'm just hearing rounds and rounds of applause coming from different levels and dimensions. There are so many masters and angels, and I call masters and the masters and angels, even if they have different names from a different faith or a different culture. They're all just working as one in support of each one of you individually and as a group. And I am honored to be present and
Mm.
support you as well.
Wow. Thank you so much. Everybody's bowled over by the blessing. Marianne says, "Made my day. Thank you." Gina says, "This has been amazing." Oh, Kelly Healer says the song Love Train in my head. I love that. Love Train.
I do too.
Yeah, this has been amazing. Well, thank you so much. And thanks everybody for being here, our tribe. And this has been so interesting. So, as soon as you can come back, we're here.
All right. Thank you guys. I've loved this. I love being with all of your energy.
Yeah, it's a joy. It's a joy. Um, and also, if anybody's interested in a private reading, um, grandmother has energy. Well, you do energy readings.
I do. I call it a session.
Okay.
And and it's about I work with you on cellular level. It doesn't matter if we're present in the same room or not. You feel the energy, and your teachers and angels come through, and there are messages. And the session is about. It's almost like rebooting your computer. I
Yeah.
work on a level of physical, mental, emotional, and etheric body, and I love it. I love doing the work.
It's incredible. Yeah, we had one. Oh, I guess it's already last month that we did it, but it was very helpful. And Saint Germain came through, and
Yeah,
Lady Nada came through first.
not surprised.
Yep, sure enough, sure enough. So, all right, everybody. Well, have a lovely day, and grandmother, if you want to stay here, we'll just say goodbye to everybody.
All right.
So goodbye. See you tomorrow, 7-Eleven.